BTS was handed diplomatic passports, and Squid Game may become Netflix's most popular show of all time. The future of South Korean soft power appears to be bright and sunny. Yurabun and Yaneseho. K-Mojo here, keeping up with your favorite Korean stars while staying updated with the latest Hallyu trends and news. Stay tuned for more. What is the connection between BTS and Netflix's Squid Game? It is South Korean pop culture diplomacy. Aside from the K-mania they have sparked, Seoul's diplomatic goals lie at the heart of Korean cinema and music's global triumphs, with the country's expanding political position an obvious result of its global soft power dominance. Getting the craze started. The global domination of South Korean pop culture has included a diverse range of offerings, beginning with television dramas, video games, and pop music, and now expanding into movies, novels, and even sports. This is known as the Korean Wave, or Hallyu, a phrase established in the 1990s as Korean shows gained popularity in China. As a result, Korean cultural exports are now attracting audiences all around the world. As evident as pop culture's appeal is, one distinction must be made right away. Being home to popular shows and bands is not in and of itself a sort of soft power. There is a distinction between nation branding and soft power. Nation branding is when a country promotes a positive but relatively shallow vision of itself. Soft power combines the attractiveness of soft resources, attractive pulp culture fixtures such as movie stars and pop icons, tourist attractions, for study abroad programs, to create and solidify new long-term changes in how people think about or interact with the country in question. After all, like Joseph Nye, the father of soft power, put it, soft power is all about convincing another side to desire what you want. Fortunately for Seoul, the way Korean culture has developed in popularity around the world, with official support but not direction, will make it simpler for the country to transform its vast reservoir of soft power resources into active soft power. Government funding for the creative industries in South Korea extends back to the early 1990s. The South Korean government established the framework for this by encouraging corporate investment and vertical integration in the film industry, and gradually reducing barriers such as screen limits for foreign content. This entailed ensuring financial stability while pushing South Korean creatives to innovate and compete with their overseas competitors. These early strategies were mainly focused on increasing the export potential of South Korea's entertainment industry. A governmental assessment in 1994 notably equated the value of the film Jurassic Park to the revenue South Korea could receive from selling 1.5 million Hyundai vehicles overseas. However, this official assistance has been misunderstood at times. For example, the South Korean government allegedly created the wave of popularity that South Korean pop culture has achieved as it has gained notoriety worldwide. However, it would be more correct to say that Seoul fostered a climate where the film, television, and music industries could prosper. The BTS Effect. Purple goes global. BTS has invariably demonstrated its expanding brand image and power over the years. McDonald's released its highly anticipated BTS meal earlier this year, but the fast food business was forced to close its shops within minutes in numerous locations due to strong demand. The band's enormous draw is a boon for South Korea. Their success exemplifies the spread of Korean soft power through ideas and messages that cross cultural borders. For example, the government website Imagine Your Korea includes a list of BTS music video and album cover locations, encouraging tourists to recreate the scenes yourself or simply bask in the knowledge that your bias was once standing in the same spot, breathing the same air, and seeing the same view. In the K-pop language, a bias is your favorite band member. In July 2021, South Korean President Moon Jae-in selected BTS as the special presidential envoy for future generations and culture. According to Park Kyung-mi, the appointment is part of public diplomacy that tries to extend diplomatic vistas by gathering diplomatic competencies. Soft power promotion through cultural diplomacy is in the mutual interest of governmental and non-governmental actors and private organizations such as Big Hit Entertainment, which oversees BTS. They are enthusiastically creating and marketing Hallyu content, which the government subsidizes. Furthermore, as the most popular Korean pop culture producer, BTS is the cornerstone of people-to-people diplomacy, which stands for establishing individuals across geographical and cultural barriers. The global BTS fandom, known colloquially as ARMY, has propelled the band's development. BTS has been the most successful embodiment of the Hallyu phenomenon of Korean pop cultural exports such as K-pop, soap operas, and films to date. While the initial spread of Hallyu within East Asia may have been aided by affinities in mentality and cultural norms among these countries, while remaining exotic and foreign enough to pique the interest of other Asian consumers, its global proliferation marks a new level of global success for contemporary Korean culture. The international appeal of BTS and Hallyu in general is an example of the spread of Korean soft power through the astute creation of an image and message that resonates across cultural barriers. In honor of their role as worldwide influencers, BTS was invited to speak at the UN headquarters in New York in 2018 at the launch event for Generation Unlimited, global cooperation by the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF. Green light all the way, the frenzy over Netflix series Squid Game. South Korea has long been known for its manufacturing prowess. Still, the Netflix hit Squid Game is elevating the country's cultural clout to unprecedented heights, heralding a new driver of economic growth. While Korean musical groups and TV dramas have had international success for many years, only a few, such as boy band BTS, have gained a large following outside Asia. Squid Game, which is on track to become Netflix's most watched show in the world, is changing all of that. Building on the success of the Oscar-winning film Parasite in 2020, a new Netflix program about indebted individuals fighting in a deadly survival game has captured worldwide imagination. It is projecting Korea's burgeoning soft power. It may also contribute to the country's cultural exports becoming far more significant economic contributors. Netflix claims that its business alone contributed $1.9 billion to Korea's GDP last year, but the entertainment industry as a whole is beginning to draw greater weight. To begin, Korea's content business is minor compared to the enormous industrial sector, but it has been continuously developing. Last year, content exports totaled $10.8 billion, accounting for around 1/10 of Korea's primary cash cow, but earning more than several other essential export commodities like household appliances and cosmetics. The value of Korea's entertainment exports, which include publishing, games, music, movies, and TV shows, increased 6.3% last year, despite a 5.4% drop in overall shipments due to the pandemic. According to the Korea Foundation for International Cultural Exchange Research, even consumer products associated with the so-called Korean wave, such as cosmetics, clothing, and food items, increased 5.5% last year. In addition, the popularity of Korean soap operas and idol stars resulted in an increase in Chinese visitors in the years preceding COVID. Still, this over-reliance has become a risk for the tourism industry. While still in their infancy, entertainment and technology are some of Korea's fastest-growing industries. According to Statistics Korea's website, the number of creative and artistic services workers increased 27% between 2009 and 2019. In contrast, manufacturing, a traditional driver of economic growth, increased 20% during the same period. In addition, according to research released last month, Netflix's shows and investments helped create 16,000 full-time employment in Korea between 2016 and 2020 in the entertainment and associated industries. The success of Netflix's Squid Game series has reignited interest in learning Korean, demonstrating the expanding global influence of South Korean culture, which, from music to beauty to gastronomy, is becoming an instrument of Seoul's soft power. According to the online learning service Duolingo, Squid Game resulted in a 76% increase in new registrants in Korean in the United Kingdom and a 40% increase in the United States in the 2 weeks following its first broadcast on September 17th on the American streaming platform, while encouraging older students to improve their level. After the musical success of the K-pop or cinematographic groups of Parasite at the Cannes Film Festival and the first foreign feature film to win the Oscar for Best Picture, or Minari, 6 Oscar nominations this year. The enthusiasm for the series confirms South Korea's, Asia's 4th largest economy, growing weight on the world cultural scene. In addition, the Oxford Dictionary of the English Language has just included 26 words of Korean origin in its newest edition, including Hallyu, which accurately portrays South Korean culture's wave of success. South Korea has expanded from a mid-sized power to a pop culture behemoth in the last several decades. Still, the question now is whether it can continue that by utilizing the vast potential of Hallyu and the country's rising cultural economy. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more on your favorite Korean pop stars. Tame Topile!